session, we are going to see type wrappers. Type wrappers are some special kind of built-in classes that helps us to convert our primitive data type to object data type. What is the benefit of being object data type? Is that it contains lot of facilities, methods, functions, even it does the type conversion in a very safe manner. So because of that, it is really useful to us to do certain data handling without error free. Type wrappers are a very simple concept that really helps us to convert data from one type to another type. Let us see what are the different classes that are available in type wrappers and how it is going to support. Now, basically, if you see, we have our normal integer, float character, all these things have come from our basic native languages like C, C++. C is a procedural oriented, C++ is partially object oriented. But when you come to Java, Java is going to give a full-fledged support of object oriented programming. We cannot write even a single line out of the class. So the same fashion we have to bring all the primitive data types to us. So because of that, it's really helping us to go with our advanced concepts like collections. Collections only handles with objects. It is not going to handle with any basic things. So already we have data with primitive types. So how to handle all those things with advanced concept? On that time, there is a conversion needed where these wrappers are helping us. This will encapsulate the primitive data type and turns into an object. There are multiple classes that are available. There are dedicated classes for each and every data type. For byte, we have a byte class. You can observe that the type wrappers are capitalized because by standard in Java, we are going to use camel keys for class names. So that's why byte, short, integer, long, float, double, even character, these are the type wrapper classes that are available. So whenever we use the constructor or we create objects on that time, we will pass the compatible data type, primitive data type to that so that it automatically changes. Even you see here, we have Boolean. Boolean, you can normally give true or false basic primitive types. Even the true or false, you can give a string value, both are accepted. I have a number int x equal to 5, that is also can be taken and converted into integer object. If I give 5 in string by giving a double quotes, that can also be converted. So it is having a proper type conversion if the content is compatible with that particular data type. So now you see, basically, if direct way you want to convert a primitive data type to object, then use the constructors of the wrapper class. But if you want to convert the object into primitive data type, use the functions that are given here like byte value, short value, int value, long value, and so on. So these functions are helping us to convert into normal primitive data type. Now you see all the type wrappers define constructor that allows an object to be constructed from the given value. As I told, this value can be the primitive corresponding primitive data type or a string. Both are fine with that. So in this example, if you see here, we are creating an object for integer and its name is IOB. It is getting 10. Yes, fine. It's 10 is a primitive number. Yes. But you are giving 5 in double quotes, that is also working with that. So later on, if you are trying to add both the things, yes, of course. All the operations that are applicable with primitive data types are also applicable with objects of wrapper class. Now here, I just want to bring a concept called boxing and unboxing. Boxing means primitive data type getting converted into an object is called boxing. And from an object, if we are converting again back to a primitive data type, then it is called as unboxing. So wrapper means, as you know, that when there is a chocolate, you will have a wrapper to cover it. So it will protect that chocolate, it will keep it safe for a long time, and it is easy to carry, it won't get stick in your hand. The same way, if you're having a primitive data type like a box, this wrapper class will create an object so that the data will be safely handled. So that's why it is called boxing and auto boxing. I repeat, from object to primitive data type is unboxing. From primitive data type to object, it is boxing. So you want to make a boxing, use a constructor. If you want to make an unboxing, use that corresponding wrapper class name with value, that function. So Java, after Java 5, we got something called auto boxing and auto unboxing. What is that? We see the values are in without constructor, without the methods. We are directly can do these operations automatically. For example, I'm creating an object for integer class, and I'm just giving, instead of new integer, I'm just giving equal to 5 means automatically the 5 is a literal integer, literal, that will be converted to an object. This we can make it. Same way, if I want to assign an object to a normal int x, yes, of course I can do it. So you don't want to use the constructor and the functions like int value, float value, all those things. We don't want. That is called auto boxing and auto unboxing. Automatically you can see integer IOB equal to 10 means the 10 is as converted into an object using the wrapper class. Now you see the same way we can do auto boxing also. Auto boxing helps us to do what? We are just going to automatically, it is going to convert our number or any value or any constant that we give into an object of corresponding wrapper class. Unboxing means what? It is similarly in the same context. If you see, automatically we can bring the content out of the object and I can store it in where, in the primitive variables. Easily we can make it. So because of this, what will happen? Easily it will do a conversion. A typecasting is not required. Automatically the errors won't available. It just in a safe way it will convert the data. So this is really important when you are going for a type strict languages. So Java is such a type strict language. You want to take care of all your data type conversions. Now you see, this is one such example where you see there is a first method called meth. This method is getting an object and returning to what? It is returning to a normal integer. This is called auto unboxing. And the same way you see here, we are just creating, okay, this is auto unboxing. The same way, I'm just going to give an example that I want to store some user input of 50 into a integer object. How I can do it? I just get it and I will directly, I'll write integer count equal to the value given by the user. Automatically it will be saved, right? So here you can see some of the expressions where this auto boxing and unboxing is happening. You see, we have taken two integer object, one integer. See here, if you are going for increment, automatically what it will do is it will unbox basic primitive data type will be incremented and again it will be auto boxed into an integer. This is how it works off. Okay, when any operation comes, like arithmetic operation or comparison operation, on that time, what it will do is it will just convert or it will just unbox the integer object or any computable object to primitive data type. This is what we do. We can mix different types of numeric object in an expression. You can see integer double is there, but you can add integer plus double and you can store it. That is possible. Okay, so here also boxing and unboxing will happen automatically. It will convert and do. We can use integer numeric object in switch statement. In switch you can see here iob equal to 2. It's an actually an object, but if you are going and passing this through a switch, it will compare one integer constant with the object. On that time box unboxing and boxing will happen automatically. On that time it will compare and it will go to correct case according to the input. Auto boxing, unboxing, even using boolean and character values are possible. You can see here boolean bob equal to true, that you can use in a conditional statement as a normal boolean value. Okay, and you can same way you can use a character also. It works very well. Okay, and auto boxing and unboxing especially it's used for preventing errors. Why means, as I told earlier, when this conversion is taken care by the compiler, on that time we don't want to worry about producing wrong object or value. It won't allow to do it. You see, you are trying to convert, okay, is iob dot byte value to an integer. Okay, so you're taking iob, it's on already an it is going to be an integer. You're converting to a byte. That byte again you're storing to a primitive. On that time it properly takes care of the conversion and it will print it. So on that time you don't have a worry on it whether it is converted correctly or not. It automatically does it perfectly. So this is how we are going to use the type wrappers in our program. As per syntax, it's very simple and very to use. You should only understand the concept, what is type wrappers and what is the purpose of constructors and methods in type wrappers. The second